Listen up, Fruit Loop. Let me tell you a story. War comes down to one very simple thing. That's man killing man.
Ricky, it's a pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to show you everything.
Well, I mean, what a film it is. Land of Bad is one of those movies that keeps you on the edge of your seat for nearly 2 hours. What was your reaction when first reading the script? Could you feel that intensity then?
So I read the script by David Frigerio, and it's epic. Like you say, it's an epic read. And as an actor, we only read our parts because we want to know what we're doing. I
Yeah.
read the script from front to back. It was insane, but it was also a quick turnaround. So I read the script on the Friday night. I was on the plane Monday. I was in Australia Monday. There was no messing around. I had to be ready. But I instantly said yes. The script was so good. It's epic. It's got depth. It's dynamic in characters and the relationships. It's got comedy. Russell Crowe brings some great comedy in this and such beautiful, heartfelt moments. And then you kind of look at the director, Will Eubank. On the Saturday, I met with him and I did some research on him, kind of watching his previous works of Underwater with Kristen Stewart. And I thought, if he can make dark, under the ocean movie look epic and vivid and crazy, like what can you do with explosions and helicopters and planes and jungle? And
Welcome to Land of Bad.
he did not disappoint. Like, Will Eubank is the next visual genius director that we have, in that J.J. Abrams, that Michael Bay. Like, he's going to be an incredible monster in this industry. And I just wanted to get in there early before he forgot about me. And so it was not even a question of did I want to do this. It was like, try and stop me, and I can't wait to get started. But having said that, having read the script, having shot the movie with these great actors and great crew, it still blew my mind when I watched the movie back. When I watched it on the big screen, there's movies you watch at home on TV, and then there's movies that you watch in the cinema. This is just such an epic roller coaster thriller that you have to go and see it in the movie theater. It's so huge and loud and crazy and intense. But then, like I say, you've got these kind of fun moments. It genuinely blew my mind. I wasn't expecting it. I'm like genuinely blushing. I'm so proud of it. It really is, a fun project to get involved in.
Well, along with all the explosions and the action scenes, the movie centers around a Delta Force team, which at their core are loyal and, never leave anyone behind. How did you get on with Luke, Liam, and Milo? Did you guys do anything to develop that bond that's seen on screen?
We're a problem. We were a problem. We were four kids running around the jungle with guns. Like, we just turned into kids, and that began before we even got to camera in training. Paul Kale was an Australian Delta Force, and he was kind of helping train us and getting us kind of ready for the action. But steak dinners, we're out for steak dinners. We were there with Australian royalty, Luke Hemsworth and Liam Hemsworth. Who better to show you around Australia than the royal family of the Hemsworths? And I remember I was in wardrobe, and the wardrobe department was saying, "Oh my God, you're crazy. You're barking mad." I'm like, "I know, right? This is going to be fun." They went, "No, no, no, no. Have you met Luke yet?" And I was like, "No, no, not yet. I'm going to meet him in a bit." And they were like, "Oh my God, there's two of you." I was like, "What? Nah, there's only one Ricky." And they're like, "No, you are the same person." I was like, "Oh, what?" I met him, and it was like, that Spider-Man moment in the cartoon where Spider-Man's pointing at Spider-Man. We had that moment, and the universe imploded. We're the same person. He's crazy like me. I love him. He's the funniest guy I think I've ever met. He's such a good guy and so talented. And then I met Liam, and I was like, oh my God, this guy, I can't look into his beautiful blue eyes. He's so stunning. It's terrifying how beautiful he is. But he's got such a beautiful heart. He's such a great guy. He opened up straight away. I opened up, and like, I love just like messaging. Even now, he's over killing it on The Witcher. And I'm just like, I'm all involved because I want him to do so great because I love that guy. And then Milo, I've known for years, and I've always wanted to work with him. I've been a big fan of his for ages, from Heroes, back in the day. I won't say Gilmore Girls because that shows me off to be real softy. But that chemistry off camera translates on camera. And so, that's where it all came from. And it's just us goofing around, just having a great time off camera, just taking in the sights of the Gold Coast. I mean, what a place to film. It was disgusting.
Well, you mentioned it was like, kids running around in the jungle. What was the most challenging thing about filming in the jungle? But also, how much fun was it?
I mean, apart from everything trying to kill you in Australia, like snakes and spiders and scorpions, that all had to be cleared before we got to the areas to shoot. Like, especially my character Bishop, he's the sniper. So I'm on prone position. I'm lying down on the ground. And like, I'm just like looking down my sight in the scenes. But I'm not gonna lie, like I'm still kind of like having a little look around because I'm just like, if anything comes near me, I will scream like a little bitch. I don't care. I will scream like a schoolgirl. It was terrifying, and so it was really cool that we had a team that would like kind of clear the area. They made sure everything was safe. Our weapons were always shown to us too much. You know, they were shown this is empty, the magazines are empty. You know, this is all this. We never pointed it in anyone's direction. Weapons were always pointed down, and you know the spiders were cleared. The terrain was cleared. There's lots of action where we're sprinting across a really tough landscape. So that was pretty crazy just in general. But it was the weight. The weight of the equipment, the guns that we had. We had sidearms, we had assault rifles. Bishop has a sniper rifle as well, which is an extra 100 pounds or so, like that's just sat on my back, and then I'm carrying around. So we started off in the gym, like kicking it, like guys do. Got to make sure we look buff. Got to make sure those triceps are kicking on screen. We quickly learned that our legs were dead. They were done. You didn't need to do leg days because that terrain was insane. You didn't need to do arms because you're carrying that gun all day. My arms were exhausted that first day because I stupidly did an arm workout. So you just did not need to work out. But carrying the Kevlar vest as well, it's just all that extra weight on your joints was exhausting. And in that Australian heat, those days were really tough. And just to think that that's a fraction, like the tiniest fraction of what our military go through day in, day out, man. The sacrifices that they make personally, but physically, that's their day. That's their day-to-day life. They walk to the toilet, they go to the mess hall, they eat like that. It blew my mind how much they have to lug around. And to do that for a couple of months was pretty tough. So props and love to our troops. I don't want it.
Well, I know you're someone who doesn't just show up to work and wing it. You prepare physically, mentally, and dive all the way in. When preparing for the role of Bishop, though, what were the first things you tried to zero in on, to really make the character come alive?
I didn't have time to do a full drop. I got the script on Friday night. I spoke to Will Eubank, the director, on Saturday, and I was in Australia like Monday. It was insane. But I've always said like that kind of phrase that you pay for the prep, not the acting. And so I always stay in shape. I'm always ready for those roles. There's roles like American Gods where I had to put on 40 pounds for that role. Beast in Me is a movie I'm looking to shoot this year, again with Russell Crowe. I had to lose 20 pounds for that. But that's when you've got time to prep. I had 2 days. So the only thing I could do for this was to kind of maintain the shape I was in, which was cool. So I was ready. But it's the mental side of the character. It's the depth. How do I make this character real? And as a forces kid, I know the world of the military. My dad was in the Royal Air Force. He was always away from home. He was kind of flying helicopters and things. So I was able to kind of build a nice backstory for my character. Why was Bishop fighting? What was Bishop fighting for? Why is he so tough on Kinney? Because he's in my world, Bishop's got a daughter at home and he wants to get back to his daughter. And this new rookie coming into a very tight-knit team threatens that. So he's hard on Kinney straight away. He's like, you mess up, people die. You can die, but I can die more importantly. And I got to get home to my daughter, my wife. That's my life. And so I was able to kind of build that backstory for myself, coming from the experience of being a forces kid who, wanted to see his dad every day. And when my dad came home, it was the best, it was the best day. It was so exciting and stuff. I took my dad to school one day in his full flying suit, at like hero day, because he was my hero growing up. He turned up and he was this huge kind of superhero in my mind. So, that's what I kind of built for Bishop. And, that's why at the beginning, he's very tough on Kinney, but it's truly a love story. It's your typical love story between Kinney and Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
you start off tough, but you end up falling in love with each other. And, you know, Kinney has to break him down.
Wow, I mean that's amazing, and you know, having your father like that, that's really something to be proud of. Now, I want to finish up with a fun one, and not because I'm a Liverpool supporter, but your club, Manchester
Oh,
United, seems to
we're
be in
done.
their well, Manchester
We're
United
done.
seems to be in their own, you know, land of bad at the moment. If you could pick four current players, you know, like the four-man team, you know, in the movie that quote won't get left behind in the Jim Ratcliffe era, who would they be?
Who won't get left behind? I'm not going to lie. This team can do one. I grew up I'm the perfect age for a Man United fan because I grew up through all the 26 years of Sir Alex Ferguson, and every trophy known to man came our way. And to the point where we didn't even celebrate the league sometimes. Like we were just like, we win the league. Like I think we were 2 wins away from winning something like 7. I think it was 7 titles in a row. You know, we won 3 in a row. We missed the year by an offside. Then we won another 2 in a row, and then we missed one by a goal that should have been disallowed by Drogba and stuff. It's insane. So it's a good one. For me, I can excuse bad form. I think if you're having a bad run, everyone goes through bad runs. But it's the effort. The lack of effort from this Man United team has been a big problem for me. As a Liverpool fan, your guys go through bad form. Darwin Núñez can't hit the side of a barn sometimes, but that guy runs his butt off. Yeah. Every Liverpool player runs like crazy. And why that is required of Man United players? Like, why do I have to ask of you to run for Man United? That shouldn't be an issue. So for me, it's the young players that get a pass. So your Rasmus Højlund gets a pass. Your Garnacho gets a pass. Kobe Mainu gets a pass.
Yeah.
I'd say, what am I on? I'm on 3 there. Did you say 5?
We got one more.
I got one more. Oh.
Yeah.
I will go the most important player in our team, and the reason why we've had a bad season, Martinez. He's transformational. I think you take Rodri out of Man City, they lost 3 times. You take Saliba out of Arsenal, and they capitulated last season.
Yeah, lose the title,
There are certain players that you take out of a team and it changes everything. And Martinez is that guy. As soon as he came back, we started looking great again. And so that's a worry that he's now injured. So for me, he's the most important player in our team. So him plus all the kids, and I think we're good to go.
Okay. Well, I mean, here's to United hopefully making the Champions League next year, but you know, we will see.
It's a double. Do you think you've got it? Do you think you've got the title there?
Oh, no, not right now. No,
it's a big race. I think it's just you and City.
City's the clear favorite. I still don't think Arsenal's there yet.
I think Arsenal will not finish third.
They don't have that title mentality right now.
No. Do you see how they celebrated against Liverpool? I'm like, if Liverpool had won that game, you'd have clapped the fans and walked off.
Yeah, it almost felt like a sense of relief for them rather than, you know,
it means too much to them. It's always too high and too low with Arsenal. And I just think a calm team who knows what's ahead, who knows they're only halfway through a season, goes, job done. Who we got next week? But they're celebrating like that's the biggest. It's like a small club mentality where if a Brentford beats Liverpool, you celebrate like that because it's huge. But if Man United beat Liverpool, which is, they're not even your rivals either. Like, they don't even have that. That's not a rivalry. So if Man United beat Liverpool, we celebrate and we're like, yes, but we also know we've got 38 games to go. You know, like, it's not a thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's a marathon.
So, yeah, they're not the thing. I think you're right. I think City, who basically, if they win their game in hand, they're top of the league without the best player in the league, De Bruyne, for the whole season. Haaland's been out for a month.
Yep.
And both of them are back. And they're still top of the league. That's terrifying.
I know. Well, I mean, I could spend, you know, the entire time talking about that 99 treble with United, but I think we're getting close on time. But Ricky, thanks again for hopping on today. I really enjoyed it.
I appreciate it, man.
I really hope to speak again soon.
Yeah, me too. Have a great week, man. I appreciate you.